So they just had some astronaut ice cream.
Fabulous.
And they're ready to come back down to Earth. We have some very special guests. There's a whole team of aeronautical specialists, and they're going to talk to us about flying, how it works, why it works. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. This is Mr. Bergamini, and he is going to talk to everybody about his experience with flying. And then we have a really cool section to show you. We'll move back there in a few minutes, okay? Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. So we had originally hoped that we could go out behind the school and fly today. And that was our plan, but yesterday, the White House announced that President Biden is coming to Greensboro. He's flying into town today. Anytime the President of the United States flies into a city, the country puts in what's called a no-fly zone. Nobody flies when the President is in town. So we're grounded. And if you try to fly, the Secret Service will come and find you. I've had friends that have done that. Yes, ma'am.
Will we get to see President Biden today?
You will not see President Biden here today.
I don't want to see President.
So anyway, as that is the backdrop, what we have is we've got a brief PowerPoint and we have a static display. You'll be able to go over here, see some of our planes, and our members here will be glad to talk to you about them and give you a chance to ask questions. So let's see if I can get this to work. Come on, baby. So we're with the Greensboro Radio Aero Modelers. We're all men you see here today, we're all members. We fly all sorts of radio-controlled airplanes. Airplanes, helicopters, gliders, and drones. You've seen the quadcopter planes. I'm sure some of you may even have them at your house. We fly about 3 miles east, back here on Highway 150. Does anybody know where the Dollar General is?
Oh, yes.
We're behind the Dollar General, so we're real close. We're a club of 65 people. And we have members that fly every single day of the week. Roy Johnson over here has been known to fly every day. So if you're welcome to come out to the field any day and see what we do. The busiest days for us are Saturdays and Sundays. That's when you have the best chance of seeing our guys and talking to our people. Yes, ma'am.
Does it cost money to go see you?
It costs no money, dear. We'll be glad to have you as our guest. This is what our flying field looks like. So you can see Highway 150 is right up along that line there. This is the field, this is our clubhouse, this is the runway, and these are tables we use to set up our airplanes on. This picture was taken by one of our members. He has a drone. It has a camera on it. He took this picture, and we got it on our website. Now, I got to talk to you about this whole idea about toy planes. My wife likes to kind of punk me a little bit. And what she likes to say is, are you going to go fly your toy airplanes with your friends today? Right? This is a toy airplane. Right? Your little brothers or sisters may have this. You may have had one of these when they were little. These got a little key on the back. You wind them up, you put them on the floor, they roll around the floor, the propeller turns, maybe there's some music. Right? They do not fly. This is not a model airplane. This is a toy airplane. We don't fly toys, we fly models. That's what our planes do. Our planes fly. They look like that. They look like that. They look like that. Not a toy. It's up in the air flying. That's not a toy. That's a model helicopter. So, kind of the basics of what happens here is pretty simple. We have an airplane. You'll see a bunch of them back here. We use one of these. This is basically a radio. When I turn it on, I turn the plane on, it emits a radio signal. And that signal goes to a receiver that's inside the plane. So you got little antennas. The antennas pick up the radio signal. And then the receiver moves there's a bunch of little electric motors inside the plane, and they move the control surfaces, and the plane flies. Pretty simple, but pretty neat too. So lots of people your age ask me, what's involved here? How hard is this to do? Well, first of all, anybody can do this. Any one of you all can do this. We've had middle schoolers and high school students that have been members of our club in the past. Currently, we don't have any high school or middle school students. Our newest member is a young man that graduated from Northern High School last year. He's one of our very best pilots, by the way. He is good. If you're going to get started, you got to buy an airplane. You got to get it set up. They're kind of tricky at first, but your folks can help you, and you can always bring it by our club, and our club members will be glad to help you. Roy Johnson's probably helped about 1 billion people fly over the years. He probably knows more about it than anybody here. You need a tutor. You will not be able to learn to fly on your own. I know, I tried, I crashed a bunch of airplanes. You need somebody to be your instructor. Depending on how good you are, sometimes you only need an instructor for a month or two. In my case, it took several months. But an instructor will help you get your plane flying, get you flying too. Then the last thing, this is just like playing the piano. You know, if you decide you want to learn to play the piano, your mom gets you a piano teacher, you go to lessons, and then what do? You practice, practice, practice. You don't get any good unless you practice. And it's the same way with model airplanes. So, back here I've got my friends, Roy Johnson, put your hand up, Roy, Jim Wittes, Steve Ort, and Brandon didn't make it today, but
Dennis Hines.
Dennis Hines is here today, though, too. So what we have over in the corner, we've got several planes set up. They're not flyable. You can't fly them in here. They're designed to fly outdoors. But you are welcome to go back here and walk around and talk to these gentlemen about what they are, what they do, how long they've been flying, you know, how high they fly, where to fly, all that kind of stuff. The only thing I ask you to do is to be kind of careful as you walk around the tables. These are fragile. Don't need them being knocked down on the ground, right? So move deliberately. Yes, ma'am.
Did you make some?
Well, there's a good question. Most of the planes you see back here are largely prefabricated. They come in a box, and the pieces are prefabricated, and you assemble the pieces to make the plane. My buddy Steve Ort over here, put your hand up again, Steve. He starts with a box of wood. I mean a box of wood. He saws it to the right shape, glues it together, covers it, and flies. He creates beautiful planes, and his is a higher skill level than, say, I've got when it comes to building planes. Who else got any questions? Anybody? Okay, so what we'll do is you can slowly, single file, go back here. Again, be careful around the planes, but my friends will be glad to talk to you and answer any questions you've got.
I'm gonna make the props go in a few minutes, so you can hear it.
It's loud. That's my plane over there. That's a show plane. Those planes are polished and waxed every day. They are absolutely spotless every time.
Okay, just step back a little bit. First of all, this is how the control surface works.
Stand clear.
It's got a lot of power. Wheels go up.
You'll see it. It'll blow the leaves on that plant.
I got some.
They make a big fan. That fan is as tall as, that fan is as big as I am. This is an electric jet. There's a battery you can see up front here, runs a fan that's in the back, and it's gonna shoot air out the back. And it flies because the fan produces thrust. Watch it. That way. Does it get hot?
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it will. So when Jim takes off, the gear is down. And as he lifts off, he raises the gear up. Like that. And you can see the plane visibly accelerating. There's a lot of drag on the landing gear hanging down. I was saying the plane, the orange plane over there is a Piper Cub. They're probably the Piper Cubs have been made in this country for probably 80 years. There's probably 50 or 60 up here in Greensboro. They've been around a long time. Roy flies Piper Cubs all the time. He likes flying.
Yes.
Watch for free. You can talk to the pilots, look at the planes. You can even get lunch there. We'll sell hot dogs and hamburgers. We'll be glad to have you. Okay? So I'm going to hand these as we walk out this way. There you go.
We have an event in May where you can see these fly. So he's giving you the paperwork for that.